Hello financial investors and welcome to the channel. My name is Brent and in today's video we are going to be doing our week 6 of 2021, going over February 8th through the 12th of 2021. We're going to go ahead and kick off this week's recap of taking a look at last week's changes for the week. Then we're going to go ahead and cover some news as far as Bitcoin. We're going to go ahead and talk a little bit about Tesla and Apple Pay. And then we're going to go ahead and jump into the four main indexes, take a look at the entire S&P 500 performance for this past week. What stocks were up, what stocks were down, what sectors were strong, what sectors were weak. Then we'll take a look at oil, dollar, silver, gold, bonds, the 10-year yield, and wrapping it up by taking a look at mortgage rates. Just a really quick recap of the week. That way we can look back at these on a weekly basis and take a look at just what exactly the market did during that time frame. So with that said, if you are brand new to the channel, have not yet subscribed, go down below, hit the red button to subscribe, make it gray, hit the bell to be notified every time we release a brand new video, and of course give this video a thumbs up, make it blue, and let's go ahead and get into the video. Now starting off, we're going to go ahead and take a look at week 6 back on the 1st through the 5th of February. Bank stocks were going crazy. We see Amazon 4.55, Google up 14.31, Facebook, Apple, and Microsoft up nearly 4 to 4.4%. So really good there as far as the bank stocks go. And the rest of the market pretty much followed along. We also saw strong moves in financials, but healthcare didn't really perform outside of AbbVie. I believe AbbVie's in that $108, $110 range once again. So pretty interesting time for AbbVie. Definitely good times to be taking some profits. And silver, gold were negative, down. Silver just a smidge, but gold down nearly 2%. Bonds were flat, up 0.04. 10-year had actually moved up from 1.09 to 1.17. And mortgage rates decreased by 1 point to 3 from 3% to 2.99. So pretty good changes as far as the past week. Now we're going into week 6. What happened this past week? Well, one big thing that I read on the news here was Tesla bought $1.5 billion of Bitcoin. That made Bitcoin spike by several $1,000s on the announcement of Tesla purchasing Bitcoin, as well as, Elon Musk had put the Bitcoin symbol within his Twitter feed, and that made it bump. So there's a lot going on right now between Tesla, Apple, and a few other companies, and Bitcoin. And here we saw that Tesla announced in the SEC filing Monday that it had bought $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin. Tesla will start accepting Bitcoin as a payment method for its products, so buying cars, doing services, recharging if that costs your money. CEO Elon Musk has also credited for raising the prices of cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin, through messages on Twitter. So he's talked a lot about Bitcoin and Doggy. I'm not sure how it's pronounced. I don't own it, but it's a DOGE cryptocurrency. So I thought that was an interesting article. Another one that goes really well with Bitcoin was the Apple Pay is now choosing to use and spend on Bitcoin. So BitPay cards are now being able to be added to the Apple Wallet. So this allows you, with your prepaid MasterCard here or through Apple, you're able to go out there and actually use Bitcoin and spend it online in stores and apps. BitPay said on Friday. So that's really interesting that it's being accepted in so many different places. But so far what I've read online, let me know down in the comment section below. Every time you make some sort of a transaction with Bitcoin and you're making a purchase from your wallet, that's a taxable event. You're taking cash that may have increased in value. It's not a set price. It's not like a dollar. You pay with something with the dollar and there's no taxable event there. But when you buy something with Bitcoin, you're locking in those profits of wherever you either bought it at, or, if it's high or low. And say you bought Bitcoin at $4,000 and it's now worth $50,000, you're going to have to pay taxes between that 4,000 and 50,000 point when you're buying products with whatever you've locked in as far as that cash goes. So let me know down in the comment section below if that's something you've also heard or looked into as well. I'm not too familiar with that. I own Bitcoin, but I don't use it in any sort of a spending matter. I think of Bitcoin as it's a placement of value like gold or something like that. And okay, so let's go ahead and jump into the index recaps. So starting off with the S&P 500, we went up 0.49% over the past 5 days. with Friday popping up 0.47% there. So nice strong day to the upside there on Friday at close. We can see, pretty much throughout the day, it did go up midday and then kind of drop back down almost near open. And then right there towards the very end of the day, we see some volume kind of coming in and bringing up that, the stock market there towards the end of the day. So year to date, it is up 4.76%. And let's go ahead and take a look at the Dow Jones now. Monday through Friday here. Friday essentially flat. Friday didn't have the performance that we see with the S&P 500 with a big spike. I mean, there is a bit of a spike there from the lows to the highs, but it doesn't look as drastic as what the S&P 500 does. And then we have our NASDAQ, so nice little spike there as well. I'm not sure if that's actually Tesla. This may have been Tesla, going out here, but I'm not sure what specific stocks within the S&P 500 had the most influence. I could see a huge drop here on Wednesday in the NASDAQ, popping really high in the morning, in the early morning, and then it came crashing down pretty hard and recovered. It looks like it pretty much recovered, but in reality, it was down by 0.25%. So it was probably down maybe a percentage or so midday before popping back up and closing down 0.25%. The Russell 2000, I believe this is in last place as far as our weeklies go. So we have the S&P up 0.49, the Dow Jones up 0.23, the NASDAQ, okay, so the NASDAQ actually took the win there, up 0.77, and the Russell 2000 is down by 0.02. But if we look at our recap of the past few weeks, Russell 2000 put on nearly 8% last week. And the week prior, it had put on another big chunk. So the Russell 2000 right now is in the lead as far as year to date. It is up 15.93%, followed by the NASDAQ up 9.39%, the S&P 500 up 4.76%, and the Dow Jones up 2.78%. Now, jumping over to our 1 week performance of the S&P 500. This is a heat map that is able to be found over on finviz.com. You click on the map side on the right as you load into the page. Now, this is going to show you the performance of the S&P 500. Now, the S&P 500 was positive by nearly 0.5%, but you can see it's very mixed. There isn't any one sector, semiconductors maybe, that were pretty positive, but every other sector out there look pretty mixed. So there's a little bit of red mixed in with a lot of the green. Green mixed in the green. Tesla down 4.24, Amazon down 2.22. Google actually put on a gain after last week's big swing up. It still put on an additional 0.3%. Facebook 0.9, Apple down 1.02, Microsoft up 1.15. Financials continue to stay pretty positive there. So as far as big movements, looks like semiconductors had a really big movement. Over in the oil and gas, looks like it was pretty positive as well, with some Oxy down or up 12.54, MRO up 12.94, DVN 11.62. I've seen a lot of investors discussing jumping into oil at this point, Exxon and Chevron. So I've seen a lot of dividend investors and some of the dividend groups on Facebook discussing buying into Chevron and Exxon at this time just because of their very nice yields, their longevity as far as dividend payouts, and that they've been beat up here. Over the past year, oil has been horrible, and they may potentially, be bottoming out and be picking it back up here shortly. So, kind of an interesting area there to check out. And then healthcare, AbbVie was positive last week by nearly 7%. This week down around 4%. We can see there it's at $104. So it did pop up to about 108, 110 at a high before kind of coming back down. And we are jumping over into oil now. Oil this week up 4.56, putting it up year to date by 20.96%. We have the dollar moving lower. So, it didn't start too much higher this week. If we look at the 5-day, it started at around 90.48. It kind of stayed flat throughout the week, had a spike there on Friday, and going into this, on Friday kind of close, we'll say that it was kind of high for the week. And then as we kind of went through the weekend here, it went back down into that $90.20 range. So it's actually further down than where it had been just 1 week ago. Silver and gold both positive this week. Silver up 1.48 and year to date up 3.05. Gold actually is up by 0.54%, but gold is down by 4.28%. So it had a really big rally just recently here back in early January. It rallied pretty hard. So let's look at the 3-month here. This will kind of show the uptrend from a bottoming out point right here. It upticked pretty nicely. A lot of investors saying get into gold, and it ticked up, but it's ticking down. I'm not sure how long it'll kind of keep itself before kind of falling down. I know silver had also had a huge spike here just a couple weeks ago during the whole craze with GameStop, AMC, and a few of those other companies. GME was the ticker symbol. So there is silver and gold. Bonds are down by 0.14%, but if you're kind of invested in bonds, I wouldn't be invested in bonds in this market. It might be a safe play, but I'm pretty sure you're going to be ended up losing much more money, as so much money is going to be printed or has been printed here in the future. And bonds right now, the stock market is it's so, I feel like it's a lot safer versus bonds. I think it's pretty weird to say, usually you look at bonds and it's pretty safe, and it moves to the upside continuously. But here it feels like bonds are a little bit weaker. They're moving down nearly 2% here to date. And then we have the S&P 500 on the other side up 4.76. But if you're investing in some of the smaller mid-cap businesses or technology, you can see that you have a much bigger lead there versus if you're just trying to play it safe within bonds. But moving over into the 10-year rate, we have our U.S. Treasury yields. 10-year is at 1.2%. Just last week, it was at 1.17, so it went up 3 basis points. And then we have mortgage rates falling further at 2 basis points from 2.99 to 2.97. So I know a lot of investors in the Facebook groups and on Bigger Pockets and such were kind of talking about their renter mortgages locking in and the really lows. I think it was like 3.5s. If you're getting a mortgage for your own primary home, you could probably lock in anywhere from a 2.25 to a 2.75. But if you're getting an investment home, it's usually a point higher. So if it's a 2.25, you're going to have a low of around 3.25 and a high of say 3.75. So usually investment renter mortgages are slightly higher unless you're doing a personal home, but it's a multifamily home. You can get pretty good rates on those. So those are the rates, and that is pretty much all I had posted. I didn't get to post a video on Monday. I didn't do any sort of Monday or Tuesday buys this past week. I didn't do any recording. I just did my week 5 bang crazy, and I really haven't posted a whole lot here on Facebook this past week, but we're going to go ahead and try and find some news. I'll go ahead and actually share the Tesla news that we shared today in this video. We'll go ahead and cover how Apple Pay can now be used to purchase items with Bitcoin. I think that's really exciting. And I don't plan on buying anything myself with Bitcoin. So let's go ahead and go BTC news. Tesla at it again. And can now buy items with Bitcoin using your phone. And let's go ahead. Oops, I broke that. See if it deleted my post. No, it didn't. Excellent. Let's go ahead and post that. Not now. And that is going to be it for this video. So hopefully we'll have some new news coming out this week. We'll go ahead and share it on the Facebook page. If there is anything that you are checking out this week that I didn't cover in this video, let me know down in the comment section below. I've been not too much paying attention as far as the stock market goes. That's why I like to do these recaps for myself and for my viewers, subscribers, just to kind of do a recap of what exactly happened in the markets. Pretty much we're positive. Stock markets continue to climb ever so slowly. And that is it. So thank you all for tuning in to the channel. If you are brand new, go down below, hit the red button to subscribe, make it great. Hit the bell to be notified every time we release a brand new video covering the stock market, real estate, entrepreneurship, or personal finance. Just let me know which is your preference. I talk a lot about the stock market. I'm in the middle of buying my own home, so I haven't been doing any real estate deals, but we could also talk about some entrepreneurship or personal finance topics as well. So that is going to be it for this video. Thank you all for tuning in. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.